welcome to Leaving Crazy Town with Finn and Sarah. I'm Finn, that's Sarah.
Hey everybody.
AKA Dr. Michelle. On the scene today to help us with all of our communication issues. Anyway, I'm sure you've had the experience that I had recently where I called a friend to tell them something and I got off the call and I didn't feel good. I didn't feel seen. I didn't feel heard.
Right.
Go
ahead. I'm interrupting Finn as usual. Very common in relationships where you say something and you don't feel like the person gets it or hears you or validates you. They either, in codependency, you know what we do? We want to make it all better.
All right, so let me give you the background.
Go ahead.
I've been waiting for a doctor's appointment for several months. It got moved up a month early. I was very excited, and it dawned on me that it's at the hospital where my wife died. The last time I was there was me walking out of the hospital and right after she died. And I got sick to my stomach. So, I wanted to share it with someone, so I told a friend about it. It was hard for me to say, I'm sharing my feelings. I'm opening up and I'm saying, I'm really excited about my doctor's appointment, but it just hit me that I'm going to be going back to the hospital where my wife died.
Right.
And it's making me feel a little sad and anxious. And my friend's response was, oh yeah, but your good things are going to happen at your appointment. That's what you want, your appointment. And I felt like my heart closed, shut down, didn't feel heard. And,
This is so common.
I know I'm 100% positive I've done that to other people as well. And I know where it came from. She wanted to make me feel better.
Yes.
It doesn't.
Yes.
So Sarah and I today, we're going to talk about how we can change that. Because what we want to do is we want to keep the people we love open.
Yes.
We want to stay open. And it's hard to. I mean, I did share that how I was feeling with the response, because that's where I'm at in my recovery. I can actually say, I don't feel good about that answer. You don't have to fix it. Right. I wanted to be heard. I was trying to open up and share with you. Right. But we're just talking about the first part. How should we respond to friends? We're getting anxious. They're telling us something we want them to feel better.
I know, and you know what, you guys, this is so critical, because some of the biggest component of codependency, I know there's many, is I'm feeling uncomfortable with something that's happening for someone else and I want to make it okay, rather than just listening, being present, and validating. So one response, if Finn shares something with me that, he says, geez, I'm feeling anxious about something, I can say to him, literally mirroring and validating, gee, bud, it sounds like you're feeling really anxious about going to the hospital. I'm really sorry you're feeling that way. Period. I mean, it doesn't take a lot to just mirror back what someone's saying, and it makes them feel heard.
Yeah, I like to hear things like, and I also will share, wow, thank you for sharing that with me.
Yes.
Because I know that sometimes to open up, it takes a risk.
Yes.
Or is there anything I can do?
Yes.
What do you need from me?
Yes.
If you're not up to giving or, responding, whatever, but it's asking what the person needs instead of just offering.
Yes.
One of the areas, and this really comes up a lot, is when people die. And having had my wife die, they'll say to me, they'll get uncomfortable if, I'm sharing the information, and they'll be like, well, she's in a better place, or, oh, they had a long life. There's a litany of things we've all heard. And I can tell you, as somebody who's experienced the death of a couple of people very close to me, none of those make you feel good. Right. They didn't for me anyway. Right. What I wanted to hear, and what I now only say to people when they had a loss, is I'm sorry for your loss. That's it. Period at the end. You're not going to make their loss better by telling them the person's in a better, that's my experience. My experience is the feelings they want validated. They're not asking you to fix it. They're opening their heart and sharing something with you. Right.
And it's so critical. And you guys know what this feels like when you've shared something. I mean, if you grew up in insanity, I'm sure you know what it's like not to feel heard, not to feel validated, not to be seen. So this material, this communication stuff is so important, because we can easily get activated and get upset when we're not being heard or seen. And so it's really important, number one, to have people in your life that validate you, and number two, for you to validate others.
And the other thing, just to point out, because I know that sometimes when someone I love is sharing something upsetting for them, and it activates my codependency and stuff,
Yes.
sometimes all I can say is, I don't know what to say.
Yes.
That is better than trying to fix it for them when they didn't ask.
Yes.
Because they're hands down, when I first started doing this type of mirroring back responding, I go blank.
Yes.
Sometimes, like, I'm like, oh, and especially if I'm activated,
Yes.
I can't think of what Sarah's saying, you know.
Right.
She's rolling them off the tongue now, but when you're in an activated situation on the phone with someone,
Yes.
you know, it's hard. So even saying, oh, wow, I don't know what to say,
Yes.
is better.
Yes.
For me, anyway, I can only speak for me, than hearing it's
gonna
not
be okay.
Because basically it's like saying your feelings aren't valid because it's going to be okay. This is better. This is why it's better. This is why you shouldn't feel the way you feel.
Right.
Instead of just like, wow.
And all those things may be true. I mean, it is going to get better and all of that stuff. But the you know, Communication 101, this is straight out of Harville Hendricks's book. It's a couples therapist book. And it's like the first step is always just to validate how someone's feeling. The other thing you need to know is you don't need to agree with it. Very often in couples work, they'll have totally different experiences of the same thing, and a person will find it hard to validate their spouse's feeling when their experience is different. But the first thing, you can validate someone's feeling without agreeing with it. That's not even important. So this is Communication 101. We're going to be leaving Crazy Town. Hopefully that's helpful.
We hear you and we see you. Comment down below.
Yes.
We always want to say too, like, subscribe, hit the bell to get reminders, and also comment down below. Is there something you want to hear us talk about?
Ask questions.
Yeah, we're willing to go down any subject. All right.
Absolutely.
Now we're out of here.
All right. Fasten your seatbelt.